It's almost cultural where people love to rejoice in the face of liberation after responsibility lifts. When there's something to take on, when there's a choice to be made where you can do something extra, you hear the people around you complain and even shame the people who willingly take on more responsibility if there's no visible benefit for it. In hindsight, of course, that sounds pretty stupid. Like, why would you take on extra responsibility if you're not getting anything from it? It's also culture to complain and shun any form of new responsibility that can form in your life. People put so much pride on just doing enough to get a certain outcome. I guess that reflects efficiency, but people are afraid of doing more than they need to. Many people like to act directionless or not be vocal about their desires and their goals because it's terrifying. And people take pride in being directionless. People take pride in not wanting any new responsibility that crosses their life so that they can live a life of comfort, and they value that. And I find that even though many of us want to be great, I'm talking to you. You want to be great. If not, you wouldn't be consuming this kind of content. You want to be somewhat important. You want to be admired. You want to be special. You want to break through your perceived potential. And you genuinely desire that. But when you're around people who love to complain and take pride in being desireless, who take pride in searching for the next small block of freedom from their responsibilities, and they live that cycle for the rest of their life, you're different. And I want to talk about how just because your ideals are different from the men around you doesn't mean you'll be rejected. Yes, they might shame you, but having different ideals from the men around you doesn't make you lesser of a man. I want to encourage you to stop settling for enough, because that's not who you are. You like the responsibility, you like the new experiences, but you are shamed for going for them because it's easy for people to say that, oh, I can just do this to get this amount of benefit. Why do extra? Because they are afraid of being shamed of trying to take more. But you are different. You want more. You want to maximize what you can get. You want the experience, you want the fulfillment, you want the magic that comes with being occupied by something meaningful. And there's nothing wrong in that. In fact, I think that's absolutely beautiful and so cool of you. So don't be afraid of being different. In fact, you want to be different, but it's terrifying. I want to encourage you to be more vocal about what you want and start taking action towards what you want. I find it so difficult to tell my friends and relatives that I genuinely want to be a YouTuber who spreads a good message. It sounds so cringe and it's so painful to say because, you know, it never works out for 99% of people. So me telling other people that I want to be a YouTuber and I want to do this kind of self-improvement nonsense, it's easy for them to immediately assume that I'm going to fail. So I feel very vulnerable when I speak about what I want to be and what I want to do. And it's scary. In your head, you will imagine the worst ways you could be rejected by the environment. But I do think that being vocal and honest with your goals and desires makes you so much more interesting. And though it might be generic, though it might have some negative connotations behind it, you know, many things could happen out of being vocal about your goals and aspirations. But I think it's very polarizing. I think that it's very attractive and it's very charismatic if you have desires and you talk about them. When you have a strong passion and a strong will to go for something, you become so much more attractive. You might think that you'll be shamed for it, and you probably will sometimes. But if you're having a conversation with a girl and she asks you where you're going or what do you want to be, sounds like such a generic question, but if you answer something along the lines of, oh, I don't know, I'm just figuring out as I go, which I find that everybody says that, it's very depolarizing, it's very boring, and you probably have somewhere you want to go. It just might sound like a dream that's entirely out of your reach, and being vocal about that will make you seem stupid and delusional. But if it's something that you genuinely want to become, you have genuine reasons for why you want to move in that direction, and your character will have depth. The more vocal and expressive you are, the more your depth is visible to other people. Plenty of people have depth of character, have plenty interesting experiences to talk about, but they're too shy and they are too reserved because they are afraid of rejection or being shamed. So they keep to themselves, and because of that, they become very boring, even though they might not be. I think it takes a lot of confidence to execute kindness, which I'll make a video about. For example, there can be two guys, and one guy could be 10 times kinder and more gentle and a very, very good man. And one guy could just be a normal dude. But he's a normal dude with confidence to execute what he thinks is right. Whereas the other person who has the best ideals, the best opinions on how to handle things, the best ideas on how he can thrive in different situations, but he never executes them because he has no self-respect, he has no self-worth. So he's too afraid to put himself out there or to do what he thinks is right. He's afraid to make mistakes, and maybe someone made him feel like when he takes actions, he's always wrong and he's not good enough. You have to have that deluded confidence that you are right and your opinion matters and the decisions you make can help others and also effectively handle situations around you. Unfortunately, you need that deluded confidence in order to become actually confident in your own ability. So you need to put yourself out there, you need to make firm decisions. Even if other people could be more right than you, you gotta assume that you're right, unfortunately. Unless it comes down to a very dire situation where, there's actual stakes involved and you really don't trust yourself, then I guess not. But in order to put yourself out there, you need that deluded confidence, which will eventually turn to actual confidence when you've displayed competence and your decisions actually have effective and good outcomes. So yeah, stop acting like you're directionless because you have aspirations. I know you do. Stop pretending like you don't want to go for things and don't want new experiences and pick up new responsibilities because everybody else takes pride in having huge lumps of comfort and time periods where they are free of responsibility. You're not the same. You want that fulfillment, you want that magic in your life, you want that depth. So you want those new responsibilities. And you don't actually enjoy the free time blocks where you just sit and consume media or video games. You don't like that. You want to live. So don't act like you crave comfort as much as everyone else, because you don't. Stop pushing your decisions, stop pushing your ideas. You have to speak, you have to move, or you become depolarized and you just become another person on the planet. You'll be an NPC and you'll never become as special as you want to be. So go become an interesting person. There's never been a time where it's easier to stand out, where everybody blindly follows culture and doesn't like to take on responsibilities. Start making decisions for yourself and start being honest with your desires. Give it 1 month and you'll be a completely different person and you'll love it. You'll absolutely love it. Too bad to